Now at noon, lawmakers in Washington say they want to solve the baby formula shortage. The steps they're taking to fix it still ahead. Plus, we're learning more about the suspect in this weekend's mass shooting at a grocery store in New York. Very latest in that investigation in just a few minutes. Gas prices continue to climb here in Arkansas, and drivers are still searching for ways to save. Could your car's eco mode help? We'll verify just that. And the number of stay-at-home dads has tripled in the past few years. Coming up at 12:16, we're taking a closer look at that growing trend. Good afternoon. I'm Sarah Horbacewicz. Now, we saw some severe weather yesterday, but some relief could be on the way. Here with meteorologist Nathan Scott. Nathan, you got some good news for us?
Good afternoon, Sarah. Yeah, those storms yesterday certainly left quite a punch across the region. Still about 8,000 customers are without power in the state of Arkansas. And here's the reason why. Here are the max wind gusts. We saw wind gusts at Little Rock Airport of 55 miles per hour, 54 mile per hour max wind gusts at Stuttgart. And that brought down some tree limbs, that brought down some power lines. Here are all the damage reports and hail reports that we have received. And you can see it's about 75 reports across the entire state. Out there this afternoon, though, we've got the clouds breaking up. The sunshine is happening across a large part of the state. Nothing showing up on the radar. And also, you step outside, it feels much less humid. Those dew points have dropped down to the upper 50s to lower 60s. So it's going to be much more comfortable out there today than what we have been seeing over the past few days. Temperatures today topping out into the low 80s, maybe upper 70s in North Arkansas. We've got another chance of rain arriving on Tuesday, and then the heat and humidity return in full force. I'll let you know when that is coming up.
This afternoon, we're learning new details about the deadly mass shooting at a New York supermarket over the weekend. The 18-year-old suspect is accused of driving more than 3 hours to a predominantly black neighborhood in Buffalo to carry out what police are calling an act of racially motivated violent extremism. Brad Blackburn has the latest for us.
As investigators comb through evidence Monday, officials say the suspected gunman in this weekend's mass shooting at a Buffalo supermarket had plans to continue his deadly rampage.
If not for the quick response of the Buffalo Police Department, he certainly would have killed more people in this immediate area.
Appearing in court Saturday in a paper gown and mask, the 18-year-old pleaded not guilty to first-degree murder. He's also likely to face federal hate crime and domestic terror charges. Investigators say he specifically targeted the store in a predominantly black community because he wanted to kill as many black people as possible.
For something like this to happen, to be targeted, it's heartbreaking.
One of the 10 lives lost was 86-year-old Ruth Whitfield, the mother of the city's retired fire commissioner.
We are in a place that we never expected to be. My mother was the glue that held us together.
Investigators say the suspect plotted this attack over several months, and they're examining a 180-page document he apparently posted online, describing himself as a white supremacist and anti-Semite. New York State officials say the teenager, who lived hundreds of miles away, had threatened a shooting at his high school last year.
The individual was brought in for a mental health evaluation. He was evaluated and then he was released.
President Biden is expected to travel to Buffalo Tuesday to grieve with the community. Bradley Blackburn, CBS News, Buffalo, New York.
The suspect is on suicide watch and is being held without bail. His next court appearance is on Thursday. Meanwhile, police in Southern California are investigating another deadly shooting that happened at a church lunch reception yesterday afternoon. A man opened fire, killing one and injuring several others at the Geneva Presbyterian Church in Orange County. Authorities say parishioners showed exceptional heroism when they hogtied and detained a suspect before officers arrived to arrest him. Investigators are now working to determine whether the suspect has any connections to the church or its members. We're still learning more about last week's deadly shooting outside of a Hot Springs graduation. One person was killed and 3 others are still recovering after gunshots were fired outside the city's convention center. Hot Springs police tells us that 25-year-old Charles Johnson started shooting in the crowd on Thursday night. Officers returned fire, hitting Johnson. He left the area but was arrested at a nearby hospital a short time later. He's charged with 1 count of first-degree murder and 3 counts of first-degree battery. Meanwhile, the officers that fired at Johnson are now on paid administrative leave as the Arkansas State Police continue their investigation into the shooting. This Thursday marks 2 months since the deadly shooting at a car show in Dumas. 1 person was killed and 26 others were hurt in what is now one of Arkansas's largest mass shootings. This week, the community is focused on hope and healing. Tomorrow, members of the Arkansas Martin Luther King Jr. Commission will hold workshops, a peace walk, and vigil at the high school gym. Award-winning actress Vivica Fox will be the keynote speaker, and the event is free and open to the public. Lawmakers in Washington are working on plans to restock store shelves with baby formula. Deborah Alfarone has more from the White House.
The FDA commissioner says there actually is a sufficient amount of baby formula, even if you're having a hard time finding it.
We believe it is possible for all families to get formula. There is enough to go around, but it's not distributed in the right way.
Dr. Robert Califf also says the agency is working on a plan which may be announced today to make baby formula more accessible.
Over the weekend, one of the things that we worked on continuously was putting forth a set of rules that would enable the use of formula that was intended for other countries. Some of it even manufactured in the U.S. intended for other countries.
Congress is preparing to vote this week on a pair of bills to increase supply, including one to allow the U.S. to import formula from abroad. The other would make it easier for low-income families in the WIC program to buy formula.
The shortages began when a key manufacturer had to recall its formula after some babies became sick. The FDA has been criticized for not moving sooner to recognize the problem and fix the supply issues.
FDA didn't exert all the oversight that they could have of that facility. There were known problems with that facility going back many years. There were findings on previous inspections.
Dr. Scott Gottlieb, the former commissioner of the FDA, says one of the biggest issues is a shortage of regulators.
The entire industry in this country is overseen by 9 people. This has been an under-resourced part of the agency for a very long time, and that's contributing, I think, to these challenges.
Dr. Califf says he plans to ask Congress for more money to hire inspectors when he testifies on Capitol Hill this week. Deborah Alfarone, CBS News, the White House.
The Department of Justice is working with state attorneys general to investigate possible baby formula price fixing. Early voting for Arkansas's primary election picks back up today. From now until Friday, you can cast your ballot between 8 a.m. and 6 p.m. Or you can wait until Saturday and go between 10 a.m. and 4 p.m. Your next chance after that is, well, Election Day, when polls will be open from 7:30 till 7:30. And if you have any election questions or want to know who's running in the state's biggest races, THV11 has you covered. Our new May primary voter guide is up and running. You can just text the word VOTE to 501-376-1111 and we'll send you a link with everything you need to know. Again, that's just the word VOTE to 501-376-1111. Still ahead, dads across the country are leaving their jobs for a new gig at home. We're talking about the growing stay-at-home dad trend. Nathan?
And it's a great day to get outside the home because we've got pleasant weather, lots of blue sky, low humidity, but it doesn't stick around for very long. The heat, humidity, and the chance of showers and storms will be going up. I'll let you know when next.